I'm just going to go through just some of the updates that are started with Flex. So the first thing you just need to do, if you haven't updated it in the last week, you just need to go to the Play Store. And that's if you're on Android. It looks slightly different if you're on Apple. And then you just you type in Flex Manager. And if it says open there at the top, that means that you're up on the newest one. But if it says update, you just need to click update and then go back into the app. And so once you go into Flex Manager, then you'll have your screen like that, and you'll just need to go once you've done the update to the bottom here to where the 3 lines are. And when you click that, it'll give you an option to reset, and then there's a reset session as well. So if you click both of them, it'll just reset. Just make sure you have all the icons, and you should have between 12 and 15 depending on how many permissions that you have. I suppose the first thing just to go through then, you can now do inductions through the app. There is an icon called online inductions, and when you click into that, it allows you to do the inductions through the app rather than having to send people links. So when you click that, you have 2 options. You have P&D Line or you have subcontractor. So if you had an auditor come out and site, like an ESB auditor, an external one, or any kind of subcontractors, you'd select that one. Or if it's a P&D employee, you click P&D and it'll bring you to the same link as you used to manually have to send links to people. The only thing about clicking employees is when you go to that screen, it's just you have to type in someone's name exactly. For instance, if somebody's name was Stephen, you couldn't put in Stevie. It'd have to be their full name as is on the system, because it links to their profile. So it'll bring you to this screen, and you just select whatever project that you're doing it on. The course selection is selected in this section. In the other section, you have to select visitor, and then you just put your first and last name and exactly as it should be spelled. The company ID, you don't actually need to fill in anything for this, but just once you have everything filled in, you just need to tick that grey tick, and it'll bring you on to the next stage then. I'll just show you there now. So you just click employee there, and if you click the little button, it'll bring you then into the site induction, and then once you click start there, it'll get you to answer all the questions like you did before, and they're simple yes no questions now rather than having to put your initial in, which is great. So I'm just going to exit out of that now. The next update then on Flex is the good catches, near misses, and they can be reported through the incident icon. So any good catches or near misses can be reported through this icon here. That's the incident reporting one. And when you click into that, you just go down to, just like any other the forms, the bottom right hand side to where the plus sign is. You select whichever job it is that you're looking to report the good catch on. And then you have the 2 options that anyone on site will be using is either good catch or near miss. So if I select good catch there, you can just say location description. So say if you said Barna, weather conditions, say if it was rainy or whatever. If it doesn't, if the weather conditions don't really matter in the case of the good catch, you can just write NA there. And then you go to the top left hand side where the 3 lines are up there. And you just click into type of incident or event, and you just check which one it closest applies to. So say like slip, trip and fall, or whichever one it applies to, or you can click other. Then you go up to the top left hand side again, you go into incident description, you give a quick description of it, what happened and what you've done to resolve it or what needs to be done, and it just allows me to be able to set up a task. Then again you go up to the top left hand side again, and you can select attachments if you want to attach pictures, or if you don't need to, you can go straight to corrective action, and you can click the plus sign there if you want to set up a corrective action for myself or someone else to do, and you can just say, you know, issue with blah blah blah. A description of task, whatever it is, and then you can assign it to myself or to somebody else. If it's an issue with the garage, you can assign it to somebody in the garage as well. and then you can tick any of them, paperwork or whichever. So once you have that done, you just click the save button, and then you go up to the top again and you click finish. And once you click finish, I hadn't anything written there. So once you click finish, it'll go to complete and you can click submit, and that means it's gone. If you're in the middle of doing it and you want to come back to it, if you X out of it, it will save it in the pending for you. I've submitted, so you can't see it there, but that's also an option that if you're not ready to submit it, you can leave it there and come back to it later. The next update then is the task manager. And when we're completing audits or good catches or anything like that, we can create tasks for other people, and it assigns them to someone, and these need to be closed out then. So on the main screen again, if you go to Task Manager, which is this one here, and you can see on the screen you have a few different options. You have My Tasks, and if you go into that one, you can see any tasks that are assigned to yourself and that need to be closed out. Any ones that you've created that you might have assigned for other people. And then you have unassigned and stuff like that. But usually the one that you'll be most interested in is My Ones. And if you go into My, you'll see any of the ones that have been assigned to yourself. And say, for instance, there was training here that needs to be done. If I click into that and if I have it completed, I go to the top left-hand side, and I can either reassign it if it's not for myself, and if there's any of these that you need to reassign, just reassign them to me and I can assign them to somebody else. If you're closing them out, you can add attachments or comments, and then to when you're finished with it, if you want to close out, you just go to the little flag to close, and this will allow you to close that out, and it'll, just like any of the other forms, it'll say are you sure you want to submit this, and you just kind of say yes to it then. So that's where all your tasks are, and you can also view them through project profile as well, and they're ideal for if you're being audited or something like that they can see any tasks that are outstanding and ones that you've completed already. The third thing on the list is just we've requested for Flex to turn off the emails for the completed paperwork. So if you're getting emails for your SSWPs that are completed, or permits to works or anything like that, just let me know, because you should only be getting emails really for like audits, or if you have tasks that are created for you. You shouldn't be getting them for every piece of paperwork that you do. And the last thing I just want to show you on the app that's new is the policies and procedures. I'll just show you that there now. Okay, so it's this icon here, and when you click into it, you can see any of the policies that have been assigned to yourself. And if they're in green, it means you've signed them off, and if they're in red, it means that you haven't. So if you click on any of the ones that you need to sign off, it'll open the file for you. And then when you scroll down to the bottom, you have to show that you've read the whole document. You just click the little grey check sign there, and it's confirmation that you've read and presented it, and you just click yes, and it'll ask you then to add your signature, and I'll just add my one there, and then you have to just tick the little floppy disk then at the bottom again. Just that one there, and once you select that, then the signature will be saved, and you just go up to the top left hand side where the 3 lines are again, and you just click finish, and it'll show then that one will be green. Now I have to click update before it'll go green there. It'll show it on our system, and we're currently working on how to get these to view in the app, but there'll be a folder in the documents called policies and procedures, and they're going to be dragged over there. So we're just waiting to get the exact information on that, so you'll be able to see. So see, that one's gone green now, and you can see that I've signed that off. There does seem to be a bit of an issue with the safety statement. It's quite large. So it's saying that you need to read the whole document. So because it's 300 and something pages, it's not showing that you've read it if you flick through it. So you do need to read through the whole document at the minute for the safety statement. So if you're having issues with that one, we are looking into a different way of maybe getting that signed. But even just for the minute, if you got used to signing some of the shorter policies and procedures, that'd be great as well. So if you have any questions on these, let me know and we can go through them.